Good morning, YouTube. It's me, the Artisan MC, on an early drive time. I am on my way to the airport, or at least drop off my car so I can make my lift to the airport so I can go off to Mexico for the next couple of weeks. And while I was leaving, within all the BS that I had done today, I was listening to a little bit of YouTube, cruising the YouTube streets, and I got the whiff of some bullshit going on in the geek sphere that I felt like I wanted to speak on. Now, part of me says keep my nose out of it. It doesn't matter because I will have some unpopular ideas and questions. But the other part of it that I fucking dislike, that to test me, is to see one brother going after another. And they hit on some of that same common bullshit ass tropes of who's a coon, who's not, who's really real, who's really not, who don't follow enough black folks, who really do. It's dumb shit. It is dumb shit. Now, the reason I say this is, for better or worse, I am what I would consider a geekdom content creator, right? I speak on stuff in geekdom. Geekdom being video games, comics, movies, that kind of stuff, right? All that stuff that was traditionally counterculture, which has now become mainstream culture. And I'm pretty old at this shit, right? I'm approaching 55, 60. So I see other content creators, and I get how old they may be and are. And with that comes the understanding of where their mind state is for the time frame that they were raised in. So I'll listen to what they have to say, but I don't always agree with everything they have to say because I don't agree with what anybody has to say 100% of the time. That's just the nature of being critical, right? To have a critical idea of what's going on, you have to listen to all sides. If you don't listen to all sides, how are you forming your opinion? On inference? Or the fact that somebody told you what you were supposed to believe in? Or you just got the feeling from the populace on which way the wind was blowing, and that's what you chose to do. Now, I've said this many a time, and I always feel like I need to reiterate it so you understand the position that I'm coming from. I am a Gen X, which means I don't believe shit anybody has to tell me up front. I will sit back and form my own opinion. I don't give a fuck who's on what side of what. My main goal is to find the truth. And then to stand on whatever I believe in from hearing both sides of that shit. Because I know there's bullshit on both sides. There always is, there always has been, there always will be. It is never cut and dry. These are the good guys, these are the bad guys. These are the people that are for you, these are the people who aren't for you. That is bullshit. It's bullshit. Now, I see people running in and out of here because they don't see a face up there. So they don't understand what I'm talking about. The first thing I'll say is a question. I know Star Trek is in the public consciousness right now. I know that, right? Maybe you spent some time watching Starfleet Academy. Maybe you think the show is actually good. Who knows? I'm sure there's somebody who does, okay? I frankly think it sucks. It doesn't know shit about Star Trek. But for me, given that Star Trek is in the consciousness right now, I would ask this question. Where does the captain sit on the bridge? That's the question. I didn't want to put that all in the title, but that's the question. Where does the captain sit on the bridge? Now, for me, since I'm not waiting for, responses, I'll tell you. The captain sits in the center of the bridge. Why? Would be the next question. Why does the captain sit in the center of the bridge? He could sit on the right side. He could sit on the left side. But no, the captain's chair is positioned in the middle for a reason. Why do you think that is? Since it's a rhetorical question, I'll answer it myself. The captain sits at the center of the bridge so he can see everything that's happening on both sides of him. His vision is not limited. Yeah, he has one set of readings and information coming from one side, and he has another set of information coming from the other side. And it's his job as the captain to marry that information together to plot the actual course for the ship, to decide what is actually going to happen. Now, I say this to point out, I just watched two videos. One from Blurred Without Fear, one from Comics Explained. These are two people that I respect for what they do on YouTube. I also respect them because it's two brothers. Regardless of complexion, these are two brothers. They both have larger channels than me, which is why I probably should stay out of the shit. But fuck you, I'm grown. I do what the hell I want to, right? They both do good content. They do. I can agree with both of them, and I can disagree with both of them. I can. It's just the nature of the beast, right? But what I just finished watching, which is this, I don't know. I don't want to say pseudo because it seems real, because they're both responding to it. But their responses to what is being said, some of it left something to be desired. Now, the gist of it is that in that faraway make-believe place called Twitter or X, something was said to the point that Rob was a coon. Why? Don't know. I'm never on Twitter. I don't give a shit about the space. I know more bullshit gets kicked up there than on Facebook. Right? Fine. Some people like it. Some people don't. I'm on the don't camp. I don't give a shit. Now, by his own account, Ernie, Blur Without Fear, said he came to Rob's defense. And because of that, information was brought to him and put in his face that made him reevaluate that position and say that no, he might, he has some ways. Now, I am a black person who hates to hear this term coon thrown around all the goddamn time, mainly by black folks against other lighter skinned or darker skinned black folks. I fucking hate that shit. Hate it, hate it, hate it. It's some of the dumbest shit that I think we should probably done away with calling each other. I mean, I can't think of anything more divisive with more of an actual effect, a directed effect on the person than calling them a coon. Outside of calling them a pedo or something like that. Now, apparently, in the mythical place of Twitter, the comment section was really going in on Rob. And later, Ernie had something to say about him. Someone he said at first he came to defend. Now, listening to both their videos, it sounds like the normal YouTube shit that happens, closer to the summer is just happening earlier, which means around this time of year, going forward, it's always like a lull in entertainment. So that's when YouTube beefs get started up to drum up content, supporters, numbers, all that shit. There's always some bullshit going on. Coming from the space that I come from, the black manosphere, that's always some shit that happens every fucking year. You can set your watch by it. There's nothing to be surprised about. It happens. Two people you thought was cool as shit, one month, 1 year, 2 years, all of a sudden at each other's throat, talking shit over videos. We always know what it's really about. Subscribers. The ever journey of subscriber supremacy. But at the same time, we know most of the argument is kind of BS. We tune in for it because we like that shit. I personally don't. I don't tune in for that shit, but I understand it happens every year, like a hurricane in the South. Okay? So listening to both their videos, this is what I got from it. This is just some bullshit. This is some YouTube beef shit getting started up. Now listen to Rob's video first, when he talked about what Ernie had to say about it. He pointed out that there was some flaws, some inaccuracies in what Ernie was saying in his video. I hadn't seen Ernie's video yet. But unlike some people, given the ideas that they expressed, I will go back and watch said video in total, the full, so I can get the full gist of what the hell is being said and what's going on, and decide for myself what I thought of it. Right? Well, Rob laid out his case to defend himself like he needs to defend himself. And then I went and listened to Ernie's video. And Ernie was saying some wild shit. And as much as he was doing it, the more he did it, the more he sounded like a bitch with some hurt feelings. Now, understand, I did not just call this man a bitch. I said he sounded like one. Because the venom that's coming across in what he is saying, it's not joking, it's not corrective, it's not like you're talking to a peer. You're talking like a fan who's mad at somebody because they don't have the same position they do, which is exactly what Rob said. I went back to see for myself. Listen what Ernie got to say. That's exactly what it sounds like. Like Syndrome in Incredibles. He told you to go home, buddy, and now you mad. So it's like, well, fuck him. And any superhero like him. That's what it sounds like. Now, maybe it was not meant to come off that way, but that is exactly how it sounds to me, not giving a shit about what's on Twitter and listening to both videos. That's what it sounds like. An opportunity and a chance to kick some dirt on this motherfucker. Apparently, you feel like you can overtake him to be the number one. By doing what? All but saying he ain't black enough. I don't fuck with the people he fuck with and follow. Which is some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard. To me. Others may not see it that way, but I do. I don't give a fuck who anybody follows. I don't. I follow people that don't even fucking follow me. And they know me. I don't give a shit. What you do, look at, follow, listen to on YouTube is your fucking business. Even if I don't like the person you follow, that's still your business. It doesn't change the way I think about you. Why? Because everybody is free to take in whatever kind of fucking information they want to. From whoever they want to. I don't give a shit how long you've been a sub to them. I don't. The only ones I would care about like that would be the person that actually did something fucked up to me. Because at the end of the day, I can't get mad at somebody for having their own fucking opinion. I can disagree with them wholeheartedly all day long and twice on Sundays. But I don't need to hate you because you listened to what they had to say. That's your fucking choice. You do it for whatever reasons you want to. I will move accordingly because I don't like them. You don't have to not like them because I don't like them. It's your choice. And I'm not going to look at you fucked up either way. If you find value in what the hell they say, well, explain to me why you find value in it. Because I don't. Maybe we'll come to some kind of understanding. Maybe I will understand things a little bit more through your eyes instead of trying to tell you what your eyes see. And that's what I was hearing. A lot of this is what this person does, followed up by, oh, I never really have to listen to them. No, I just know. That sounds like some ignorant shit. It's the same shit I talk about them for. Talking about shit they have no fucking knowledge about or passerby knowledge of. Just shut the fuck up. So, listening to this argument, listening to what Ernie was saying was evidence. Like all of a sudden, Rob was on trial for his blackness. Sound like some dumb shit. It sounds like a waste of time to be bothered with. Now let's get to the point. From what I got listening to Ernie, his main point is he is disappointed in Rob and thinks Rob needs mental help because he follows Critical Drinker and Nerd Roddy. And Ernie believes they're white supremacists. Okay, you got some proof of that? Outside of some ideas, oh, they don't like this, they don't like that, they don't like this. Oh, interesting. That sounds like a fucking preference. When did that become a crime? I'm sorry. Two grown-ass men can decide what they like and don't like? Oh, my God. And you do? Oh, Jesus. My next question would be, why do you even give a fuck? What difference does it make to you that they don't like these things that you like? None whatsoever. It's not taking anything away from you liking it at all. You can still carry on the same way you always have been. Liking what you like and hating them for not liking. The same thing you're doing to Rob right now. Now, I will say I follow a lot of people. A lot of people I don't agree with. Why? Because I'm not the one that keeps anybody from having their own goddamn opinion. And for the most part, I'm interested to hear the shit. I'm pretty curious. Does it cause me to think about the type of people who listen to that shit and buy it 100%? Yes, it does. And I talk about them all the time on my show. And I will direct stuff directly to them. But I'm not for, I got to hate you because you listen to them. Look, what kind of bullshit is that? That's not what I understand a free and thoughtful society is. That's not how you step into, the battlefield of ideas with a bunch of assumptions about people, no proof, no understanding of actually what they say. I don't have to hear it. I know. You know because of what? You felt it in the force? Get the fuck out of here. You could assume a lot, but you never know until you either do it or you hear it yourself. You never know. Because up to that point, you're just making fucking assumptions based on your own belief and your win scenario in your head. What up, Malika? Now, I follow all four of these dudes. And for the most part, I can say I get more laughs out of listening to the ridiculous shit that comes out of Gary's mouth and Critical Drinker's mouth than I do hearing the shit that coming out of Ernie's mouth or Rob's. Because Rob can be funny sometimes, but I don't see him as being very funny. Ernie definitely ain't funny because in his age group, the humor for me really doesn't work. If I was following his train of logic on why he would be willing to lambast somebody now who was supposedly they were kind of cool before, I would have stopped watching his ass when he showed up on camera with a fucking septum ring in his nose. That shit ain't manly to me. It made it hard to watch. When he took that shit out, then I could actually tolerate that a little bit more. But it already gave me the understanding of where he was falling in all of this shit. Oh, and now we got a spammer. Awesome. So this must be one of his crew because this is what people in that generation do. Malaki, you got a wrench. Can you take care of that, please? So I don't have to wreck my car dealing with children. No, don't show on stage. And that fucker. So, use comments. Come in the room yelling. Whatever. So must have hit a nerve. I'm nobody. Shouldn't matter. Now, 25 minutes to get to this next spot. My thinking is this. If you don't like that somebody you know follows someone, two people that your ass don't like, what do you expect them to do about it? Stop following them because you don't like them? No, go fuck yourself. That's your choice. Theirs is something else. It doesn't mean something is wrong with them mentally, just like they can't turn it around on you and say it must be something wrong with you mentally that you can't listen to somebody that you disagree with and see if you have any parity where there's some commonality in any thought process. It isn't. As much as you cannot like it, as much as I may not like it. Fortunately or unfortunately, you calling somebody something don't make it fucking so. You know why? Because you got no goddamn power in the situation. So you can throw around all the names you want to, calling people supremacists and people coons and all the rest of that shit. It doesn't mean a fucking thing because it's just words and you have no authority, no power to name and control anything. All you got is words and hurt feelings. Now, the fact that Rob didn't know much about Milestone Comics don't mean shit to me. You know why? Because I know a motherfucker that wasn't talking about Milestone Comics till I said something about black fucking content creators in the geekdom space, not even covering them. And then somebody jumped up and started really talking about it. And some of the shit he was saying was categorically wrong. Talking about shit he never even fucking read. How do I know? Because his ass barely was fucking born when it was coming out. Now, I didn't make a big shit about it. I just listened to the content and understood this motherfucker don't know what the hell he talking about. That's not what that was. But whatever, man. If nobody gonna call you on it, you can get over saying that wrong shit all day. Not what I did. I understand as a comic book reader, Having read comics for decades, worked in a comic book shop for at least a decade. I don't read everything. It don't matter if it got black characters in it or not, because my reading of comics is not solely based on the color of the characters need to be of primary concern of mine. It's fun, but that's not the main goddamn concern. And that does not make up the whole of my reading of comics. Thinking to me, thinking like that, in my opinion, sounds kind of broken. That you are so shut off to everything else outside of one color coming from one direction, you have cotton balls stuck in your ears. You running through the world with blinders on. You don't know what the hell else is out there. You're just making assumptions. So I don't fault comic book readers for not reading some shit, because some things are not for people. I had homeboy, black brother, he read Crossed all the time. Every month I was ordering that shit for him. I never read that shit. It wasn't my cup of tea. Does it mean something was wrong with me because I wasn't reading it? Does it mean something was wrong with him because he was? No. It's called fucking preference. That book spoke to his, and it didn't speak to mine. And God forbid, we was both black men. Oh, and let me just throw this in there. He was darker than me. Like that shit matters. Because to some people, it does. That shit is so stupid. It to me is so dumb. There's a lot of comics I don't read. Don't. I may know a little bit about it, and that's because you have to know about even the stuff you don't like. You may not read all of it. You might not. But you skim through the shit enough to get the gist of what's going on in the story. And if that's the way I took in the information, that's the way I will relay it to you. I don't read this, but I know a little bit about it. Why? Because it's a preference, and that wasn't one of mine. But there's a little peripheral knowledge of it, and once I'm by that, I'll tell you. Yeah, it's by me. I don't know. It's like having somebody, excuse, sit around me and talk football, and which receiver or something like that was better than against, excuse me, what defense on what team. I don't give a shit about all of that. And if you was talking about some shit I wasn't interested in, I'd probably be real silent in the conversation. Because I don't open my mouth to talk about things I have no interest in and know little or nothing about. There's nothing to share. There's nothing to put on. My role in that is to listen and learn. Not just keep flapping my fucking gums. Because that's what I believe needs to happen in the situation. So, for me, listening to that shit and listening to his response about Rob, it made me want to go back and watch the other videos, because apparently Ernie has done more than one video talking about this shit. Gets me further into the YouTube game of drumming up subscribers. You got to pull down somebody. It's always easy to take shots at the biggest fish. They're the biggest fish. It's hard to miss. but it's always the motherfucker that's right behind you. Always. So don't think that's not factored in to his so-called roast of this dude. I hate to see, personally, hate to see brothers going after brothers over money, over pussy, over attention. To me, it is a waste of time. There are not a lot of us on YouTube anyway. You should be trying to work together more than sitting there trying to point out who ain't black enough. He ain't filling out the black card right. He's not supporting these ideas and those ideas. Who gives a fuck? I'm not either. Does it matter to you? I'm sure it doesn't, because my channel is too small for you to notice. Because you would gain nothing from sitting there talking shit about me. Like them or not, they put out good content. You don't have to agree with it, but at the very least, the shit is entertaining. Likewise with Rob. So my suggestion would be, if you got that much of a problem with somebody else's preferences because they don't match yours, you need to grow the fuck up and understand all of us, no matter the skin color, ain't on the same shit. Whatever the modern day catchphrases, the phrases you're supposed to be behind and stuff like that is out there today, all that liberal bullshit is just that liberal bullshit. I don't support a lot of that shit. So what? Oh, somebody a homophobe. Well, why is that bad? Does somebody have the right not to like somebody? When did you fucking grow up? You always got the right to not like anybody for any reason. Rosie ass in here right now. I could say I don't like Rosie because she's too short. And somebody will make up a catchy name for what that could be called. And I still wouldn't give a fuck. That's all you're doing. You're throwing around names, accusations, and slurs at people to call them things to try to make people not like them. It's not going to work. You need a better argument than name calling. I'm sick of black folks calling each other coons. That's the dumbest fucking game of monkey see, monkey do I've ever seen. Stupid shit. Anyway, I'm here. I need to make my transition to my lift. I'm flying to New Mexico in about an hour or two. So you will get an update when I land in Dallas. But until then, I will see you next time. Peace.